Donald Trump's life. Donald John Trump was born on June 14, 1946, in Queens, New York City. He was the fourth of 5 children. His father, Fred Trump, was a successful real estate developer. His mother, Mary Ann Trump, was a housewife who came to America from Scotland. From a young age, Donald saw how his father worked hard and built buildings and homes. This made a strong impression on him. As a child, Donald was full of energy and sometimes caused trouble. When he was 13, his parents sent him to the New York Military Academy. They hoped the strict rules there would help him become more disciplined. At the academy, Donald learned to follow orders, but he also showed signs of leadership. He played sports like baseball and football and was very competitive. He always wanted to win. After finishing high school, Donald went to Fordham University for 2 years. Then he transferred to the Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania. Wharton was one of the top schools for business. In 1968, he graduated with a degree in economics. While at college, he already started working with his father's company. He watched closely how his father handled business deals. Donald joined his father's company, which was called Elizabeth Trump and Son. At first, the company focused on building and managing apartments for middle-class families in New York City. But Donald had bigger dreams. He wanted to build skyscrapers, hotels, and casinos. He also wanted to be known not just in New York but all over the world. In 1971, Donald took control of the company and later changed its name to the Trump Organization. He started working on big projects in Manhattan, New York. One of his first major deals was the Grand Hyatt Hotel near Grand Central Station. He turned an old hotel into a luxury place, and it became a huge success. This deal made Donald famous in the real estate world. In the 1980s, Donald Trump became a major name in New York. He built Trump Tower, a shiny skyscraper on Fifth Avenue. Trump Tower had luxury apartments, shops, and his office. It became a symbol of his wealth and ambition. He also built casinos in Atlantic City and bought famous properties like the Plaza Hotel. He was known for living a flashy lifestyle, traveling in private jets, and always being in the news. At the same time, Donald became a celebrity. He appeared in magazines, on television, and in newspapers. He was known for saying bold things and showing off his success. He wrote a book in 1987 called The Art of the Deal. The book became a bestseller. In it, he talked about how to make smart deals and be successful in business. But things were not always perfect. In the early 1990s, Donald faced big problems. His casinos and hotels were losing money. He had borrowed a lot from banks, and now he couldn't pay it all back. Many people thought he was finished. But Donald didn't give up. He made new deals with the banks and slowly started to rebuild his empire. He learned from his mistakes and came back stronger. He focused more on branding his name. Trump became a famous brand. He allowed other builders to use his name on their buildings, and in return he made money. This helped him grow his brand without taking big risks. In 2004, Donald became even more famous when he started a TV show called The Apprentice. In the show, young people competed for a job in his company. His catchphrase, "You're fired," became very popular. Millions of people watched the show, and Donald's fame grew beyond the business world. People now saw him as a television star. While many people loved Donald for his bold personality and business mind, others didn't like him. Some thought he was arrogant. Others said he was too focused on money and power. But Donald didn't care what others thought. He kept working on new projects and kept himself in the public eye. By 2015, Donald Trump had achieved fame, money, and global recognition. But he wanted more. He wanted to become the President of the United States. On June 16, 2015, he announced that he was running for president. He spoke about problems in the country and promised to fix them. Many people didn't take him seriously at first. But Donald had surprised people before. He spoke in simple words and connected with many Americans who felt ignored by the government. He said he would bring back jobs, protect the borders, and make the country great again. That phrase, "Make America Great Again," became the slogan of his campaign. He wore a red cap with those words on it, and it became very popular. His campaign was different from others. He used social media, especially Twitter, to speak directly to the people. He didn't follow the usual rules of politics. He was bold, loud, and often controversial. But many people liked that about him. They felt he was saying what others were afraid to say. In 2016, Donald Trump became the Republican Party's candidate. He ran against Hillary Clinton, who had years of political experience. The campaign was intense and full of drama. On November 8, 2016, in a surprise result, Donald Trump won the election and became the 45th President of the United States. When Donald Trump became the 45th President of the United States in January 2017, it was a big surprise for many people. He had never worked in the government or military before. He was a businessman and a TV star. But now, he was the leader of one of the most powerful countries in the world. Trump promised to do things differently. On his first day, he said he would work for the forgotten men and women of America. He signed many executive orders in his first weeks. One of his main goals was to protect American jobs. He told companies to bring factories back to the U.S. and not to move jobs overseas. Trump also focused on building a wall along the U.S.-Mexico border. He believed that too many people were entering the country illegally and that the wall would stop that. This idea received both support and criticism. Some people agreed with his strong stance on immigration. Others felt he was being unfair to people who wanted a better life in America. Another major part of Trump's presidency was his America First policy. He wanted to put the interests of the U.S. before other countries. He pulled out of international deals like the Paris Climate Agreement and the Iran nuclear deal. He said these deals were bad for the U.S. and that he would make better ones. In 2017, Trump passed a major tax reform law. The goal was to lower taxes for businesses and individuals. Supporters said it helped the economy grow. Critics said it helped the rich more than the poor. Still, during the first 3 years of his term, the U.S. economy was strong. Unemployment went down, and the stock market reached new highs. Trump also chose 3 justices for the U.S. Supreme Court: Neil Gorsuch, Brett Kavanaugh, and Amy Coney Barrett. These choices made the court more conservative and changed the balance of power for many years to come. But Trump's time in office was not without problems. He often made headlines for his tweets, which were direct, sometimes harsh and controversial. He attacked the media, calling them fake news, when they reported negatively about him. This made his relationship with reporters very tense. In 2019, Trump faced a serious political challenge. He was impeached by the House of Representatives. The charge was that he had asked Ukraine to investigate Joe Biden, his political rival, and had used military aid as pressure. The Senate held a trial and found him not guilty. He stayed in office and continued his campaign for re-election. Then, in early 2020, the world changed. A new virus called COVID-19 began spreading. It became a global pandemic. The virus hit the U.S. hard. Millions got sick and many people died. Businesses closed, schools shut down, and people stayed home. Trump was criticized for how he handled the crisis. Some said he didn't take it seriously enough in the beginning. Others praised his efforts to develop a vaccine quickly through a program called Operation Warp Speed. 2020 was also a year of protests. After the death of George Floyd, a black man, during an arrest in Minneapolis, people across the country marched for justice and against racism. Trump's response to the protests divided people. Some thought he was too harsh. Others believed he was standing up for law and order. Later that year, Trump ran for re-election against Joe Biden. The election was one of the most watched and talked about in U.S. history. Millions voted by mail because of the pandemic. After the votes were counted, Joe Biden won. But Trump claimed the election was stolen. He said there was fraud, though no clear evidence supported his claims. On January 6, 2021, A large group of Trump supporters stormed the U.S. Capitol while Congress was meeting to confirm the election results. It was a shocking day. People broke windows, pushed past police, and entered the Senate and House chambers. Lawmakers had to hide. 5 people died as a result of the chaos. Trump was blamed by many for encouraging the crowd with his speech that morning. A week later, he was impeached for the second time, this time for inciting the riot. He became the first U.S. president to be impeached twice. Again, the Senate found him not guilty. Trump left the White House on January 20, 2021, and Joe Biden became the 46th president. But Trump did not disappear from public life. He continued to speak at rallies, post messages online, and criticize the Biden administration. He also started his own social media platform called Truth Social, after being banned from Twitter and other sites. Many people still support Donald Trump. They believe he speaks the truth and stands up for regular Americans. Others continue to strongly oppose him, saying he caused division and chaos. His time in office changed American politics in many ways. In 2024, Trump announced that he would run for president again. This made headlines all over the world. His supporters were excited, hoping he would return to power. His critics were worried, remembering the conflict during his time as president. The future remains uncertain, but one thing is clear. Donald Trump is one of the most talked about and influential figures in recent American history. From a young boy in Queens to a real estate tycoon, from a TV star to the President of the United States, Donald Trump's life has been full of highs and lows. He has been praised and criticized, loved by some, hated by others. But no one can deny that he made history.